Welcome back to another episode of Sitting Pretty in Chaos with Kai. Now, y'all, I'm smiling, but I was just crying before I hit record, okay? So I'm going to tell y'all right now, I know it's the holiday season, and I was like, okay, but what I'm about to talk about for the next, episode. And I heard the Lord immediately, checkmate. And so in my head, I immediately knew 33 on the clock to go back to my notes. So I don't remember when I got this message. I only knew the word checkmate. So maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was driving and on the billboard, I saw checkmate, right? And then later that day, I was watching a video and the video said something about checkmate. So I'm like, okay, I know this is a message. I know that it's for something, but I didn't know what it was for. Oh my God, I literally just saw 1:05 on the clock. Oh, this is trigger warning. Trigger warning. My brother that passed away, his birthday is on January 5th. Wow. This episode, it might be a little tough. This is for people that maybe you're currently grieving or you've dealt with some sense of grief, one way or another. But before I get it there, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get through this. Okay. In the video that I saw, not only did it say checkmate, they also talked about, they made a comment was like, I didn't know that you could do that. So I put that also connected because I knew that they was connected, right? So, anyways, I said, okay, Lord, what is checkmate supposed to be? You get what I'm trying to say? So I said, okay, I go to my Bible. Like I told y'all, I read the King James Version and the NIV version. So God told me to go to the King James Version. Before I could even, I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know which chapter to go to. I immediately heard Matthew. So I went to Matthew. He immediately led me to Matthew 8, verse 4. So this is the scripture. So I'm going to read it to you guys real quick. So starting at verse 4. And Jesus said unto him, see thou tell no man, but go thy way. Shew thyself to the priest and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. Verse 9, for I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me, and I say to this man, go, and he go, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he do it. Yeah, right before I started to record, I got a message or notification on TikTok. And it says, good afternoon, Goddess Akai. And then parentheses, it says, I want to see him and hug him so badly. Jesus. And so I'm like, Lord, you got me so emotional. Before I could even hit record, I can't just start the episode just that. You know what I'm saying? And then my friend texted me. I texted my friend earlier, and she just responded and she laughed at the message. It was something very, very minor, and I was just like, I sent her like a video. My nephew's in my car, and he wasted like popcorn all over the place. And I just told her, that I love her, I miss her, and she literally just texted me back, and she literally just said like, I miss you, I love you, I can't wait to see you again. And it just really just lifted my spirit. So that helped me with smile again before I just immediately hit record. But let me tell you guys, this episode is for people who have dealt with grief, maybe in the past, maybe currently, and maybe that's something that you're preparing for, maybe from somebody else. I am here to tell you that you will make it. You can do it. And it may be difficult right now, but I can assure you that God can heal you. I lost my brother in the physical in June. I lost, oh, shit. Ooh. I lost my brother on June 2nd, 2023. And it was extremely, extremely difficult. It was unexpected. And I just didn't know how to move forward, not only for myself, but also for my family. Everybody go through grief differently. Let me make that very, very clear. So if you're somebody that's grieving and other people in your family that's also grieving, give them grace also. When they're angry or bitter or lashing out, be understanding and don't take it personal. You cannot take it personal. Everybody transition in different ways. So you have to be thankful with the little things that you do have from the situation. There's people that transition where people have no idea what happened or where the person went to. If someone is like missing, there's people that have questions that will forever be unanswered. For myself, for my family, questions are unanswered. I can say that much, right? And so you have to realize sometimes that when you're able to sit next to somebody's deathbed, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. I wish that was something I had the opportunity to do. I didn't. I didn't. You can't run away from the pain. At some point, you have to accept it. I think a normal question for people to ask is why? When we're grieving, we can have the habit of asking why. Why? And asking why is nothing but torture. Okay, asking yourself why, or asking God, why did this happen? Why did it have to be this person? I thought I had longer time. We will always think that we deserve to have more time. But I have to also realize that the time was never ours in the first place. It was never up to us on how long that people will be here on the earth. When my brother passed away, me and my family, my entire family, we went to church. And the pastor gets to preaching. And it was literally like what the preacher was talking about, what the pastor was preaching about. It was literally like my brother was in connection with God, was literally explaining a portion of the why things happened the way that it happened. Right? I was broken. I was broken. I was broken for a lot of reasons. One, I'm the oldest of all of my siblings. Number two, I lived away from Chicago for over 10 years. I lived in Miami for 6 years. I lived in Atlanta for almost 2. I went away to college in Carbondale. So I was gone for a decade. So in my head, I'm like, I just came back to Chicago. And then literally, I came back February, March, April, May, June. Just like that. 3 months. 3 months. That was it. And not only that, number 3, I pick up on energy. Okay? I pick up on energy. And at that time, when I left, so that's a whole nother different episode, but the short version is that I live in Atlanta, my place there flooded, and I ended up coming to Chicago. I was staying with my brother. So when my brother, when he transitioned, I was staying at his place at that time. But when I look at it now, God had me to leave out of my brother's house, and I went to my mom's house. So at that time, closer to the days, to his transition, nearby it, I wasn't staying at my brother's house. Okay, I actually was at my mom's house. And when I think about it now, I know that was intentional. I realized that was intentional because I do pick up energy. I firmly believe that God wanted me to go to my mom's house and not be at my brother's house, because I feel like that God knew that I would be able to pick up on the energy. And maybe I would have tried to intervene and change whatever the path was, called for my brother. Even though I know that that's out of my control. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But when I went to church, my heart was shattered. Shattered. When I was at church, all I could do was just cry. And I remember, oh, sorry. I think I just right there. But when I was at church, and I was crying, and all I could do is just pray. I just called out God. I called out God, and I didn't know what to pray for. All that I could say was, Lord, please heal my heart. All I could say was, Lord, please help me. That's what I said, actually. All I could say in church was just like, Lord, please help me. Lord, please help me. That's all that I could say. And I just kept saying it. And I kept saying it. And I kept saying it. Oh my God. I never once doubted God. Never. What I did say is, Lord, this is some of my real conversations with God. I said, Lord, I know I'm not supposed to question you, Lord. And I'm trying my hardest not to question you, Lord. And I don't understand it. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Please, please help me. Help me to soften my heart, Lord. And that's a scribe. And that was enough. That was enough. Because look at me today. I never thought that I would ever be able to have some type of joy, peace, smile. I'm here to tell you I am a living testimony. If you lost somebody, you will get through it. But I'm not going to lie. The only way to get through it is by depending on God. You have to depend on God. You have to. And I'm not going to say that I wasn't watching church. I was not watching church. But thank God to my therapist in the past, Dr. Robin Coffin. If you're in Miami, she's great. But I learned, in addition to that, different ways to how to control my triggers and how to not allow depression to console me. I was very serious about I didn't want to turn my heart black. But to be quite frankly, baby, I didn't believe in love. Baby, I was very much so like, look, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have no kids because, look, I'm okay with just me and my dog because why would I ever in my life even want to consider loving somebody else, a new person, this much? Like, that's stupid. Why would I do that? You know, that's how I was really looking at it in my mind. I want you to also remember that no matter what happened, it's not your fault. The things that you may have said or didn't say, don't feel guilty. Because you got to think about it. Would the person that transitioned, Would they want you to not live your life? They would want you to make them proud. My brother was, listen, he was, he was so proud of me. And I know that. But like that, just like this TikTok literally just said, I want to see him and hug him so badly. It's so crazy because days before his transition, he just came and just gave me a hug. And I'm like, why you give me a hug? Like, what are you doing? He's like, I can't give you no hug. I'm like, okay, I guess so, but that's still kind of weird. um, Give yourself grace when you're grieving. You can't, what I know for sure is you can't run away from the pain. You can't. Coping with liquor, weed, whatever y'all doing, okay, sex, whatever it is, that's never going to fulfill you. It's not going to fulfill you. You have to cleanse yourself, your mind, your body, and your soul. You have to focus on building a relationship. And it's not about being perfect. A lot of people got a false idea that, like, oh, God won't be able to do this, this, and this, or I already messed up in the past. So what? Repent. Ask for forgiveness. And there will be changes. When I lost my brother, listen, I all of my hair fell out. All of my hair fell out. Okay, I was bald head. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if I fell, in my head, I just feel like, well, if I feel like crap, I should at least look good. So I was at least trying to make it a priority to make sure that I'm doing my hair. I was doing my hair, and my hair still fell out. I said, well, ain't that about? Ain't that something else? But I just feel like, don't think that because you're grieving that you can't get through it. You can and you will. I'm just here to tell you that I'm a living testimony. Unfortunately, I'm a person that I had to accept that my brother transitioned. Not only that, we're having a ton of unanswered questions. And God just don't want me to know. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, you can ask all those questions, but I can't just be stagnant because God doesn't want me to know the why he decided to do things a certain type of way. So I'm just here to tell you to be encouraged. Be encouraged. Anything can literally trigger you as a reminder. It could be a song. It could be a place. It could be another person. It can be a smell. It's that serious. And it doesn't happen overnight. I'm still healing. I'm still grieving. But I've decided while I'm on my healing journey, I'm going to tell the people that I wish that I heard from other people. You know, nobody ever told me that, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel how you feel. My family, baby, they don't even talk about it. They don't talk about it. But I will, and I will continue to do it, because you have to realize, just because they're not here physically, and especially if they were Christian, their spirit is still here. They still send you signs. I literally just saw 105 on the clock. I know that's a sign from him. I know that. And can't nobody tell me otherwise anyway. So say what you want. But sometimes people transitioning could be a catalyst for your growth. And I've been growing, but baby, this shit took me to a whole nother different level. But another thing is that people really show you who there for you and who's not, also when you're grieving, okay? And if people don't show up the way that you want them to, you have to also realize that maybe they don't know how to show up for you, how you would like them to show up. And because of that, sometimes you have to give people grace. You may be very supportive and caring, and you might do that for somebody else, but that does not mean that the person know how to show, empathy, or they can empathize with the situation. People can say, oh, I'm here for you, but is that an action? You get what I'm trying to say? You got to just take certain things with a grain of salt. And it's very important to make sure that you have a solid support system. When I lost my brother, one thing I will say is that I was eating. I don't know what it is, the church, and so many people bringing so much food, and I was just like, Jesus. But you know what? Something that I was having difficulty with sleeping, and I wasn't bathing. I didn't want to do nothing. And I also didn't have no choice but to do that, because I was under the flight. What is it called? I was in the flight or survive mode. Oh, I was in the flight or the survivor mode at that point. Right? And I just think I get so emotional. I get emotional when I talk about my friends, because, listen, my friends, listen, they was like, did you get in the shower? Did you eat your food? Did you eat? They was not, although they wasn't, in Chicago, they made it a priority to make sure that I was good. Um, One of my other friends, I got two friends from grammar school, and baby, they showed up. They made sure to do their part, and then my friends in Miami, they also did so. You know, just trust God. Trust God. And I might be talking around in circles, but I'm just here to let somebody know that you will get through it. The devil tried to take me out. If it was any way to try to, you know, give his best bit, his best try, baby, it was that. It was that. The devil tried to take me out. And I fought like hell. And you have to too. And you can too. Checkmate. The devil will not win. Do not let them to win. The devil will not win. The devil is a liar. You will get through this. You will get through this. Nothing is too hard for God to do. Even if you don't know what to pray, just say what I said. Lord, help me. That is so powerful. It's so powerful. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have everything figured out. I don't. It looked like everything's perfect, but I don't live in fairyland. Okay? Love yourself and love God. Build a relationship with God and Jesus Christ themselves. Don't let the devil try to second guess you or to have fun on your head. You can get through it. If I can smile now, you can do it. You can do it. If your person, no matter how the person transitioned, and if you got some type of answers, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. So take it as a patch of honor. Because at least you know. At least you got some type of closure. At least you don't have to not know the why behind that. Or the how. That is a luxury. That is a blessing. It's been a year and a half. And at least I'm able to have some type of joy, some type of peace. Do I have my days? I do. Often. Every once in a while. I might cry. I might see a picture, a song, a scent. A lot of things can trigger you. The holidays is different. I hope that somebody gets something from this. Because I don't really know where this episode is going. But guess what? Checkmate. They didn't know that you could do that. Let people think that you can't come out on the other side of it. You can. If I did, you can too. If I did, you can too. They didn't know that you could do that. They didn't know that you really had a real relationship with God. They didn't know that you would make it. You think people don't be thinking that the person ain't gonna make it? When you're grieving, when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you're questioning, is there even a God? Yes. Because I know many of you probably was like, I don't even believe in God no more. I'm only speaking to you right now because he did heal me and he's still healing me. I promise you. I promise you. If it was up to me, I would have been giving up. If it was up to me, I wouldn't even be making these videos. There would be no sitting pretty in chaos. Before my brother transitioned, I was actually working on a podcast, and that put a halt on it. It was supposed to be called Speak Your Truth. But you see how the vision is still there? You see the way that God still decided to use me, even when I didn't even know it? So maybe this is why. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that it's other people who dealing with the same thing that I've experienced or will or am or did. So past, current, or future. I promise you, you'll make it. I love you. You have a purpose. Don't question God. Just ask God to keep you closer. Ask God to give you the wisdom. Ask God to give you the strength. And if you don't even know what to say, just say, Lord, help me. That's all I can say. I promise you. All I could say was, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. But I had to fight. The devil wanted me to quit. And so I know he's gonna try, or I know that he tried to stop you too, or he's still trying to stop you. Don't let him win. Don't let him win. And if all else fails, what my favorite thing to tell people is to binge watch church sermons. Even if you don't understand it, even if you feel like that everything that the pastor's saying is stupid and forget the pastor and none of that even matters, slowly but surely, your spirit will start to shift. Your heart posture will turn to shift. I promise you. I promise you. On my life, I promise you. Binge watch it. When you sleep, have the sermons playing in your background. But I love y'all. I hope somebody gets something from this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. I love you.